Mark your calendar for October 24th and 25th. Join us in Nairobi, Kenya for the 2024 Africa Shared Value and ESG Summit, where we are turning vision into action for Africa's future at the luxurious Radisson Blu Upper Hill. This year's theme, Empowering Africa's Future, bringing together leaders, innovators, and change makers committed to sustainable development and responsible business practices. Don't miss this opportunity to contribute to Africa's sustainable growth. Visit africasharedvaluesummit.com to register and ensure your spot for an unforgettable two-day experience.
Well, since 2017, Shared Value Africa has held the African Shared Value Africa Summits in various countries across Africa, including South Africa, Rwanda, and Kenya. The summit continually aims to create a platform that convenes business leaders, the private sector, and policymakers to create an African narrative of shared value, sharing success stories and challenges as we advocate for African business power to contribute to African solutions. While in 2024, in fact, this week, they're launching a groundbreaking collaboration, the inaugural Africa Shared Value and ESG Summit, which is a fusion of the esteemed Africa Shared Value Leadership Summit and the ESG Africa Conference. They bring shared value and ESG together at the summit to really create a comprehensive framework that integrates economic success with societal and environmental impact. While they're also going to be included in this gathering, which is Safaricom, and they'll be part of the 2024 Africa Shared Value and ESG Summit, a headline sponsor, in fact. And joining us on the line to speak more about this is Karen Basiye, who's the Director for Sustainable Business and Social Impact at Safaricom PLC. Thank you so much, Karen, for joining us here on Channel Africa.
Thank you, Benjamin. Good morning to you and Palesa. Thank you for having me on your show.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. Tell us a little bit about Safaricom as a business.
So at Safaricom, shared value is one of the things we believe in. And Safaricom as a business, we're in the process of evolving from being a telecommunication company into a technology company. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the things that we are doing at Safaricom. Yes, the evolution from telco to techco.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about the work you've done historically before this transition. Tell us a little bit more. We know that you've done some work in the mobile space.
Yes. So in the mobile space, we are the leading telecommunication company in East and Central Africa, and we exist to transform lives. That's why Safaricom exists. We are the pioneers of M-Pesa, the mobile money service. Mm-hmm. We've pioneered lots of shared value kind of innovations in health, education, humanitarian assistance. So we go over and above being a telco.
Mm. You know, M-Pesa was revolutionary, Karen, in some of its impact on the ground, and definitely is a shared value example. Tell us a little bit about your shared value success and the journey that you actually took as Safaricom.
Oh, thank you. So at Safaricom, shared value is one of the pillars and principles that inform how we do our business. And it has been part and parcel of our business strategy over the years. We strongly believe that as a business, we exist to address societal issues. And so we use our resources to address these issues. We less around healthcare, around the planet, that is sustainable energy, around education. And we just look at how do we integrate economic success with social and environmental progress. So we position that it is not only possible, but preferable from a business perspective to focus on creating both economic value for the shareholders and also creating a societal value. So we believe that put purpose before profits, but profits and purpose do exist. And this strategy goes way, way above and beyond the CSR. So we have embedded social progress in the way we do things, and it's part and parcel of our business. So when we look at the evolving nature of business, we realize that shared value entails embracing technology, looking at innovation and innovative ways to create inclusive business platforms, and then strengthen the resilience of economies throughout the whole chain. We are very, very cognizant that business is intricately linked with society, and the environment in which we operate. And for our long-term success and well-being, we have to be able to take care of the planet and of the people. We strongly believe that as a business, we cannot thrive when the society around us is not thriving. So if you look at the history, business has been focused on the bottom line for a long time.
Sure.
But changes have been happening. Yeah. And now we take responsibility for our impact, where we look at how business can change the societies. So around the world, companies are challenged to create better value for employees, our business partners, our customers, the communities and society, in addition to shareholders. Previously, it was shareholder focused. Now we have looked at the stakeholders, and we believe that as an engine of economic growth and employment, the private sector's shared value is ideally positioned to deliver on the promise of sustainable and inclusive economic growth and development.
Karen, give us a little bit of an example of a project that Safaricom can pride itself in that really upholds the standards of shared value, so our listeners can understand this concept.
Yes. So you've already talked about M-Pesa. So let me move into the health space.
Sure.
So for instance, so we, in this coming summit, will be launching something called BioN8 with a company called BioN8, which is an AI symptom checker. So when you are creating a shared value project or an initiative, you look at what do we want to solve for society. Healthcare access within Kenya and Africa at large. Only a certain few, I think the best place maybe has up to 35% people who can access healthcare. But if you look at the penetration of the cell phone, many people have access to the handset. So what we have done is to bring health into your hand. So we partnered with a company that can do AI symptom checker, but we also have another system where you can ask us questions on any of the non-communicable diseases from diabetes, cancer and the likes, and lifestyle diseases. So we bring the information on your cell phone, you subscribe, and then you can access all manner of information as well as a doctor as level 1. So then from there, the doctor can refer you. So we've done that in health. We've done the same in education through a revision tool where the children who are doing exams can revise on their own. And this revision tool works very well for children in remote areas where they have no access to these revision papers and teachers, but also to children in the marginalized areas and within the urban setup. So I remember the most impactful one being one of the children coming up who had gotten a good mark to go to the best school, saying, I've used this revision tool. And as a business, if I just take you back, during COVID, we made it free. Remember, I don't know about South Africa, but in Kenya, our children were not going to school. Only the children of certain privilege attended school. So we decided to make it free so that all children can use it to revise. All they need is a simple feature phone and they can revise. So what we do is we look at what is the problem in society, what is the statistics, then we come across the table together with the society or the communities, then our partners who can help, and then we bring our resources and technology to address that issue. And let me say this, Benjamin.
Sure.
When you look at that kind of thinking of creating shared value, it's a win-win-win for everyone. The business wins, the society wins, the partner wins. And so it's a better model. And I think we've been proven over and over that when you create a business that addresses an issue in society, then you've created a sustainable business model. So those are just two of the projects I can state. We have done so many in different areas, but those are the two top of my mind. Thank you.
Well, we're speaking about the Africa Shared Value and ESG Summit taking place later this week, and continuing to throw forward to that conversation, we're speaking to the Director for Sustainable Business and Social Impact at Safaricom PLC. Safaricom is one of the conference's headline sponsors, and this particular year, Karen Basiye continues to chat to us on the line. Thank you for staying with us, Karen. There's still a lot to chat about when it comes to the the amazing work that you guys are doing at Safaricom in collaboration with the Africa Shared Value and ESG Summit. But we noticed that Safaricom Sustainability Report and the Technology and Development Strategy are being released and launched at the summit. Tell us a little bit more about this particular report and what the strategy is behind this.
Thank you so much, Palesa. So at Safaricom right now, we are working to be Africa's leading purpose-led technology company by 2030. So we are using technological innovations to transform their lives. So this aligns very well with the summit theme, empowering Africa's future, shaping the next generation of responsible business. It is in this spirit that we thought we are all aligned to this thinking and shaping the future of Africa. So why not be the sponsor as well as launch our report here? So we are particularly excited to highlight some of the initiatives that demonstrate our commitment to sustainability and innovation. And remember, this is the first time Africa Shared Value and then ESG have come together. Yeah. So this just gives us enough power to showcase our partnerships and use of technology in driving a sustainable and inclusive growth, then to breaking barriers and bringing to life the role of companies like ours as enablers in accelerating transformation across various sectors. So in there, we'll be launching our 13th Sustainable Business Report themed around acceleration of digital transformation. So we are looking at the power of leapfrogging, Africa leapfrogging. Remember when we were using the handset, I don't know about South Africa, but in Kenya, it belongs to less than 10% of the population. The handset has revolutionized how things are happening. M-Pesa has changed the continent. We have 50 million people connected. And it's not just about being able to send money. M-Pesa is now a platform that powers lots of other innovation. So we said we want to share with everyone what we've done, our 13-year journey, and at the same time just showcase what happens when you bring technology, you bring a problem on the table, and just bring the full scale of the ESG as well as the shared value. And that's why we'll be launching our report, and then the technology for development strategy, where we will just showcase one of the many innovations that we have done. So for us, where we sit, we are seeing this as a very, very good opportunity for Safaricom to showcase the power of partnerships and technology. If I tell you a little bit about our sustainability report, we are looking at what are the good, the bad, and the ugly. We've made great strengths in gender equality, at least at the leadership level. We've closed at 42% of women. And we are looking at also the bad side, where our carbon has grown a little bit, but we are putting every measure to go solar. So we are just giving society and our stakeholders and shareholders a good taste of where we are as a business and why they should believe in us as a business that cares about the future of Africa and not just the future of Kenyans. So that's where we are at.
You know, the Africa Shared Value and ESG Summit, being the first of its kind, as you said, is really going to be playing a huge role in leapfrogging Africa into a better future, especially for industry. How do you feel about that? How do you feel that we stand? Where do you think we stand in terms of the future of the African continent when it comes to shared value and ESG? Are we going to be having a different conversation 10 years from now?
I think I am confident that where we stand, there is no going back for Africa. I'm a very positive African, and I know and I'm confident that Africa will continue to drive innovation into the digital ecosystem in the future. And why do I say this? If you look at Africa, we have the youngest population, with over 60% of our population being under 25. The youth dividend, we should never forget, we hold a huge opportunity to transform. These are transformative change makers and innovators that we have. And that's why we need to harness this young population into this digital space to create the future digital jobs. So I think for me, there's a lot of vibrancy around the youth, but also the Africa having lots of startups. I think Africa's startup ecosystem has seen remarkable growth. When I was looking at the numbers, I think we are at $4.5 billion in venture capital investments in 2023, particularly in fintech. Such growth has also seen the rise of AI engineers and data scientists. I feel at my age, which I won't say, I am also studying AI because I don't want to be left behind in this revolution for Africa. So I want to know what is artificial intelligence. How can we harness its power to solve our problems? And I am a strong believer that African problems have African solutions. We have the solutions. Our ancestors had the solutions. Now we have the manpower, we have young people, we can pull in the resources on the continent. That's what excites me about Africa. And also we can start solving for these problems if we just apply the shared value kind of thinking. And I think what we need more now is the partnerships, enabling environments, interoperable policies across the various African countries. If we can just bring the African intercontinental free trade into realization, I don't think anyone can stop us. We will be the unstoppable Africa. And I'm a strong believer of that.
I love that, Karen. You know, I'm a strong believer as well. So definitely with the places and work of Safaricom and many others, we will see a beautiful launch and, of course, a great way to see the future of the African continent. Thank you so much for your time. Where can we go to find out more information about Safaricom?
If you go to our website, www.safaricom.co.ke, you'll be able to find all our sustainable business reports, all the information we've done in the various areas, and we are happy to share more with the rest of Africa because we strongly believe we are an African company.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time, Karen. It's been a pleasure.
You.